Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and in today's bass guitar lesson I want to show you a unique way of learning to use the Dorian mode in your walking bass lines. If that sounds cool, make sure you check out this lesson all the way to the very end. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and in today's bass lesson I want to show you a unique device that I've developed to teach people how to use the Dorian mode when they are learning walking bass. Walking bass is one of these amazing techniques that you can learn as a bass guitar player. It really is the secret to opening up the whole of the instrument harmonically, in my opinion. And one of the things you're going to come across is this idea of the Dorian mode. And sometimes that can be a really challenging thing for us bass players to get our head around, which I'm going to explain in a second why that is. But first off, I want you to know that there is a free PDF cheat sheet which comes with this lesson, which is going to take apart everything we cover. I really strongly recommend downloading it because you'll see everything written down in black and white, and it will start to pull all of the ideas that we're covering in this lesson together. So click the link which is in the description below and you can get your copy sent to you right away. So if you're learning walking bass, the chances are you're going to come across this idea of the Dorian mode. And this is directly related to a concept called modal jazz, which came out in the 50s and 60s. It was pioneered by guys such as Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock. Really, it was a very sort of simple, sparse sound, and it was at odds with the crazy bebop which had happened, I don't know, 5 to 10 to 15 years before that. So there was this whole new sound which came around, and it's based on this one simple scale, which is the Dorian mode, which I'm going to teach this to you now. The Dorian mode is the second mode of the major scale. So if we take the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all we need to do is start it on the second degree of the scale and go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-finger it now so it falls a little nicely on the neck. So root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, the flattened seventh, and the eighth. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And just to go through the fingering, 1, 3, 4, 1, and then what I like to do is squeeze up my fingers like that to go 4 over 3, and then stretch out there to get the B there. So you're kind of slightly playing it across 2 positions. So it is a really, really strong sound which these guys developed, but what they did was typically modal tunes would go on for quite a long time. So you might sit on one chord for maybe 32 bars or 16, 32, it could be even longer. And you have to come up with ideas based on this mode, which can be quite challenging. A lot of the time in jazz education, it's used because, oh, it's simple, it's only one chord. But the problem is that simplicity can actually be hard because you've got to find lots of different ideas to play over that particular scale or that sound. Enter this idea of riff packs, and this is something I developed in the Essential Walking Bass course over at eBassGuitar.com. And what this is, these are 2-bar phrases which create great sounding walking bass lines. And what they do is they really work out in the field, and they are the secret to get away from playing something which can essentially end up just sounding like a scale and making music. So what you can do is you can stitch these, what I call riff packs, together, or these 2-bar phrases, and build out much longer walking bass lines. But let me show you how this works. First of all, this is riff number 1, or walking bass line number 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to play 2 notes on each of the first 3 notes of the scale. Let me demonstrate. So that's literally all it is too. This isn't a complicated idea, so don't be fooled by its simplicity. It's very, very, very powerful. So let's try it with a track so you can hear what this sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that's a really strong sounding but simple bass line. So what we want to do now in example number 2 is take a second line, and what I'm going to do is literally just go up the first 4 to 5 notes of the scale, then come back down. So it's up the first 5 notes of the scale, so that is D, E, F, G, A, and that lands on the 5th of the second bar, which is really strong, and then we come back down. Cool, so let's try that with the track so you can hear what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll see that's simple and just very, very highly effective. So what I want to do is jump into riff pack number 3, and this is going to go up the scale in kind of using an idea of thirds. So let me play it to you. So that is root, flattened 3rd, 2nd, 4th, and then we hit the flattened 3 on the 2nd bar. So that's a really, really strong sounding note. And then up a 3rd, so we've gone up a 3rd, and then we go down to the 4th, and then the 3rd, oh sorry, the 2nd to go back down. It was down a 3rd, that's what I meant there. So let's try this track so you can see what this sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with 3 examples from the riff pack in, what I want to do is show you where this idea is going right now. We've got another 2 to come, so you can see this built out a little bit further in this lesson. But the magic is really when we start stringing these lines together. So I'm going to play the first example twice, and then I'm going to play the second example and twice, and then the third example twice, but segue into each one. So it starts to sound like a fluid line that we're building up. And then you can see exactly why this is so powerful. 1, 2, 3, 4. So guys, hopefully you're starting to see how powerful these concepts are and how they can build some really strong walking bass lines using this Dorian idea. If you like the concepts in this lesson, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar and check out the Bass Lab Plus. The Bass Lab Plus is my private membership platform with over 350 video bass guitar lessons in there. Specifically, if you're watching this lesson, my guess is that you're interested in learning more about how to play walking bass. If so, there is the full essential walking bass course there that's going to take you from playing your very first notes in walking bass all the way to playing over complete jazz standards. Walking bass really, in my opinion, is the ultimate way of harmonically understanding the bass guitar and virtually all of the associated sort of popular music styles, country, funk, Latin, soul, etc., etc. really is the most powerful thing. So make sure you check out the Bass Lab Plus over at eBassGuitar.com. So let's get on with example number 4 now. So let me play it to you, then I'll talk about how it is constructed. So what we are doing is root, 2nd, the flattened 3rd and the 5th. Okay, that's a very strong bass line. 1, 2, flat 3, 5, and then back to the root. So we always end up with a strong note on the second bar. In this case, it is the root again, then the flattened 3, and then the second, and then we jump down to the flattened 7th of the chord on the 4th beat of the bar. So let's put that loop together. So let's try that with a track so you can check out what it sounds like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So that was example number 4 from the Dorian Riff Pack. We're now going to look at example number 5. We're just going to cover 5 today to keep this lesson a sensible length. This time we're going to jump up to the top of the scale and come down like this. So we're going down the first 7 notes of the scale, then using the 5th to jump back up to the octave. Like that. So let's try it with a track so you can hear what it sounds like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So guys, that is the 5th example that we're covering today. There are another 5 of these examples over in the Essential Walking Bass Guitar course over at eBassGuitar.com. But the thing is, the reality is, if you play any of these 2-bar kind of riffs or bass lines long enough, they're going to start sounding slightly formulaic or like exercises. So this, as I alluded to earlier, is where the magic starts to happen, is when we start to string these together. So you can either sort of play them 4 times to begin with or twice and then move on to the next time. But they start to get really interesting when you just play 1 and then go into the next, because it starts to sound like you're improvising. So what I'm going to do to finish this lesson off is I'm going to play these 2-bar phrases round and round and then go through a few of them so you can start to see me using these ideas in practice, and then I'm going to start breaking out and improvising a little bit more so you can see where these ideas based on the Dorian mode can go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. If you've liked this lesson, please do give it a like and share. Don't forget, you can grab the free PDF cheat sheet that comes with this lesson. And of course, don't forget to check out the Essential Walking Bass course over at the Bass Lab Plus at eBassGuitar.com. If you're interested in taking your walking bass and pushing it on to the next stage and really understanding how this stuff works and what an amazing benefit you can have for your bass playing, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com. I've been James, and I will catch you next time.